Now, what is Tom Arnold looking for with this fucking show? What is he looking for?
I haven't seen it.
I just saw the commercial for it.
Yeah.
He jumps on the desk. He's looking for a P tape.
Yeah.
And all the missing tapes.
Yeah, I thought he was looking for the N-word tape. That's what from The Apprentice.
From The Apprentice, all that shit.
What hurts him more? The N-word tape getting out or the P tape getting out?
P tape.
None.
That's also true.
You know, the other day we were talking about something. What we forget as a country is that we've hated every president the less. Since I came from Cuba, you motherfuckers been hating presidents.
Yeah.
All right? You hated Kennedy so much you shot the motherfucker. Then you impeached Nixon, whatever. I mean, I still remember the night he fucking was on TV. I was a kid, and I was crying. I really believed in America. How can I didn't understand Watergate. I didn't understand none of that shit. But we're always crying. We've never been happy. The only way we're happy is if somebody brings us, we want the president that every day we wake up and there's a check for $20 in the mailbox.
That's it.
That's the only president we want. That
Yeah.
just puts a 20 in your mailbox every day. Unless it's that, we're always going to cry or complain about something. So you're trying to figure out, listen, dog, if you put the fucking tape on in here all day, if you just clicked on a tape recorder in here for a week, the things you hear.
You mean before the podcast starts?
Before the podcast,
Yeah,
when
the
I'm
shit
here
we
by
talked about
myself,
before.
when me and Lee sit here at night, you could make millions listening to it.
Yeah.
But anybody who listens to it knows that whatever is said isn't really coming from the heart. First of all, you're dealing 50% with a comedian. 50% of our humor comes from comedy, which comes from pain. When I found my mother on the floor and her arm was purple, and I could see that her by the shoulder, it was just like you got hit with a train purple. She had a massive heart attack. I cracked a joke to myself. So why wouldn't I crack a joke about anything else? The most sacred thing in a man's life is his mother. And I'll never forget to diffuse that shock. I crack like a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Like I cracked a joke to myself. Like she'll never know I got left back in the 7th grade. I knew it. Like just stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got a thing sent to us from Reddit, like a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy said that I made a joke about a Mexican little boy crying in a cage. And then you should have seen like 15 people said, well, Joey forgets he's an immigrant. I never forgot I was an immigrant. We're comedians. What we say is the first, when you see something, Greg Fitzsimmons, that first voice, your reaction, that's the reaction the audience wants to hear. We just don't have the balls to say it.
Right.
I'll never forget 9/11. 9/11 was on a Tuesday morning, and Monday night I was at the store, and Paul Mooney was on stage, and it was the week that the black guy was going to break the home run record.
Barry Bonds
against the white dude.
Mark McGuire.
Was it Sammy Sosa? No.
No, it was
Sosa was later.
It was Mark McGuire and the white dude going head to head. And I'll never forget that night he opened up with, they're never going to let that nigga break the record. Like, he just went off on a tangent. And he went off on it so deep that it actually went into my fucking subconscious, okay? Like, they're never going to let that nigga hit a home run. That's never going to happen, homie. They're going to do something to make sure that nigga's whatever, return. So the next morning, I wake up to my wife going, oh, my God. My wife was really, like, I had just gotten with her. She was overly emotional. And I'm waking up from a cocaine fucking hangover. And I'm seeing the first tower go down. And I'll never forget laying back down and going, Mooney was right. They're not going to let that nigga break the home run record because it was like on a Tuesday when he was going to do it. That was the first thought that came to my head.
Yeah.
Then the second thought was the Giants didn't cover last night.
Uh-huh.
The Giants did not cover the night before. And I go, that's comedy. That's what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, when my dad died, they had a priest come by and say a few words, but he handed out the prayer on a piece of paper to everybody, like a little missalette, because they know half the people aren't. We're Irish Catholic, but there's some of the other tribes snuck in. Some of my dad's friends that were Jewish, so they gave him all a cheat sheet, and we say the prayer, and then we're done. The priest goes, okay, if you could hand those back into the front again. And I go, he died like he lived. Cheap. And everybody started laughing. And the priest got fucking pissed. And I was like, good, you should get pissed. collecting the fucking prayer
That's
back.
the reaction. That's the reaction.
Yeah.
It's really weird that that's what comedy is. Comedy is the first thing you really say to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the comedy. And then that thought, your smooth side, whatever that part of your brain comes in and smooths out the joke, and you say you talk yourself out of doing the joke on stage that night. But that first thing that comes to your mind, that's the joke they want to hear.
Yeah.
That takes you a long time because you don't have the balls to say it. But that's the truth. He kept saying that nigga ain't gonna hit the home run. They're never gonna let him hit the home run. And as soon as that building got hit with the first plane, that's all I kept thinking about was he was fucking right. Because it was that night when he was gonna do it, that Tuesday night.
Yeah. Dude, I was on stage last Thursday night, and I did this joke. I did a stupid new joke. It wasn't like anything I thought much about. It's probably not a joke I would have kept, but I just threw it out there because I had a piece of paper with new bits written on it, and it was Thursday night. There was fucking 12 people there.
Where was this?
At the Improv. And so I go, and the joke was just, my nephew's complaining he can't get any pussy at college. I said, well, don't worry about it. I go, this thing called the Freshman 15. I go, you find all those girls in the spring, you're good to go. And this woman stands up, middle-aged woman, fuck you! Fuck you with that fat-shaming, misogynist shit. But I mean, Joey, she went 0 to 60. She didn't ramp up. The second I'd finished that joke, she was on her feet, screaming. The whole crowd turns around and looks at her like, what the fuck, is this a terrorist attack? And the bouncers come over, and I'm throwing gas on the fire because she's with her 2 daughters. I'm going, look at mommy getting thrown out of the club. I go, that's how you burn calories, getting that angry. And they drag her out screaming, and I have to finish. I got to do another 10 minutes, and the whole room is fucking awkward at this point. So I joke about I'm getting big laughs, but then I still got to eventually go back to my material. And so I come out front, and I'm standing there talking to Owen Smith and a couple other people, and all of a sudden the woman comes out again, full head of steam again. Fuck you! You're not funny. I would never fuck you. Like, I go, what are you talking about? And so I'm standing there, and I'm going back and forth with her until I realize she's not de-escalating. Like, her pitch is staying at 10, and I'm not going to stand on Melrose in front of the Improv screen with this crazy lady for any longer. So I turn around, I walk away down the street to go to my car. But she's screaming at the back of my head, and I feel like a bitch. Like, I'm walking away from her. All the comics are watching. I'm not even turning around. I'm just beelining back to my car.
We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.